morning, all. Suburban Sentinel here, coming to you once again from very deep inside the Arabian Peninsula. It's been quite a while since I've made a prepping related video, and today I'd like to talk about one of the most overlooked emergency preparations, at least overlooked in my opinion. Now, as preppers, we spend an awful lot of time worrying about food and water and emergency medical supplies and guns and ammunition and all that stuff. And I think that's great. But one of the things we fail to consider in many cases is debt. I'm getting a little help from my new friend Barnaby over here. No, don't do that. Anyway, in my opinion, minimizing or even better, eliminating debt would be one of the most beneficial preps we could do. Let me take care of little Barnaby here. There are many good reasons to either minimize, eliminate, and or avoid debt. There are financial reasons, there are psychological reasons, and very practical considerations for getting rid of debt. And I'm going to break this up into a multi-part series because this stuff is kind of long and maybe a little boring. But today I want to focus just on the financial aspects of debt elimination and or avoidance for preppers. Barnaby, ow! Before getting any further into the topic of prepping and debt, I'd like to identify a few underlying assumptions. First, I'm assuming that we are going to have another major financial crisis. Barnaby, my God. Anyway, I'm sure most of you remember the 2008-2009 banking crisis. And in my opinion, we are headed for another major financial crisis that is going to make 2008 look like an economic kitten fart. Right, Barnaby? Yes, I know. Please go over there. Thank you very much. First of all, eliminating your debt frees up scarce resources. The money that you had been spending or would have been spending either servicing or eliminating your debt can be better used elsewhere. Take the money you were using for debts and now you can buy other things such as prepping items, food, water, guns, gear, real estate, homestead, whatever you need at the time. Also, eliminating debt gives you much more flexibility. If your debts are lower, you will be able to weather a sudden drop in your income, and having less debt against existing assets, such as a home mortgage, will allow you to sell the asset, giving you more flexibility to do things such as move. I've heard some people say, don't worry about your debts. Don't pay them off, even if you think there is a financial emergency coming. The theory is that in a financial crisis, evidence of the debt will somehow get lost in the chaos. Of course, anything is possible. Maybe records will get destroyed. Who knows? But I certainly wouldn't count on it. Even in major financial emergencies such as the Great Depression and the 2008 banking crisis, all of the evidence of debt seemed to remain intact. Also, I've heard some people say, well, there will be a debt jubilee and all debts and financial obligations will be torn up and we will just start over. Again, anything is possible. I'll just go saddle up my unicorn and hope for everyone, including Barnaby, to forgive my debts. I just don't see that as a practical or even viable alternative. Right, Barnaby? Another argument I've heard for not worrying about existing debt is hyperinflation. Now, many people, and some of these are very smart people, think that the world economy is going to be hyperinflationary. And that usually means that the amount of currency circulating throughout the economies of the world goes way up, and the value of that currency goes way down. So, in that type of environment, you are in essence inflating your debts away. And those folks argue, Barnaby not included, that, well, a loaf of bread may be $500 and a gallon of gasoline 40 or 50 bucks. So I'll probably be earning $30,000 a week, and my $200,000 home mortgage and my $15,000 car note won't mean much. Once we get to a hyperinflationary environment, I'll just pay those off with a few weeks worth of wages. And again, I don't think that is at all a practical or even likely solution. Personally, I think we are headed for a deflationary rather than an inflationary environment. But rather than going into all the nitty gritty technical details of why I think we're headed for deflation rather than inflation, I'll leave you with one argument that is food for thought. The industrialized world, and basically the entire industrialized world, is awash in debt. Government debt, corporate debt, consumer debt. We all owe a lot of money to each other. And of course, preppers, most of our debts are going to be private or consumer type debts. Right? If our debts get hyperinflated away, the little guy, ordinary Joe Schmoes like you and me, will benefit from having run up huge debts over the years. Now, in an environment where government serves itself and corporations control government, what do you think the chances that the little guy is going to come out ahead in a financial crisis? So that is my take on the financial reasons for paying off debt as a prepper. In the next episode, we'll look at some other reasons for eliminating, reducing, and or avoiding debt. Thanks for watching. This is the Suburban Sentinel. Please thumbs up, share, and subscribe if you like what you see. Questions, enlightening comments, and differing opinions are always welcome. Prep and be safe, everybody.